So as a woman tends to get older, with the exception of some women, but for the most part, most women or any human beings tend to lose their beauty as they get older.
Like you have to like think about it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a woman and I've been taught something and I know something for 20 something odd years, and year 28, I can't just turn it off and just say like, okay, now I know now I need to like do all this and this. I'm not used to that shit.
Like your early 30s, you would have been one of them delusional women calling on the Kevin Stone show.
I think also there's a misconception about being an alpha male. Now, a true alpha male understands his masculinity and also understands his softer side.
You're now listening
to the Shameless Goat.
The Shameless Goat.
The Shameless Goat.
Yes, sir. You know what this is, a Shameless Ghost, baby.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
We got
What's
Big
going
Mike
on?
in this bitch. We got
Yo.
Peter, dating that Pete in this bitch. We got Dan the Man, I'm in this bitch. And today we have a special guest. Today
Hey,
we
guest.
have Sophie Nau. Hello, Sophie. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Y'all asked
Really
for it,
good.
we delivered. Everybody say, "Oh, I want a woman on the Shameless Ghost. I want a." Hey,
They
Sophie.
did say that. Yeah.
We want a woman on the. All right, Sophie.
I made it. I'm special.
I think they're gonna be
got-
surprised to hear this shit though.
All right.
All right, so here we go. Sophie, tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome.
Okay, all right, though, man. All right, so, all right, my name is Sophie Nau, and I'm a relationship coach. Also, a relationship coach. I'm also a sex coach, but it's more like the niche of what I do, but mostly relationships.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so what exactly is a relationship coach?
Okay, so basically, I teach couples and singles how to be better to each other. That's really much it. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, and to keep it real, to keep it raw, to keep it uncut from the beginning to the end.
is it a therapist? Is it kind of like a therapist or?
Kind of like a therapist. I just didn't have to go to school for all these years, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got the experience as opposed to the, I guess, the
The
degree.
piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
But I do have certificate, but you know.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this relationship?
Let's see. I've been doing it for a very long time. So let's see. When I was about in my early 30s, but I didn't start trying to make money off of it until I was in my.
So you do this like
Late
full time.
30s.
This is what you do. Like this is your life, relationship coach, sex therapy, XYZ.
Yes. This is my passion. This is my love. Yes.
Well, hold on. Well, you said you weren't getting paid until your late 30s. So how old are you?
Well, that's not important. They're supposed to ask a lady how.
Nah, I mean, I want to know. I mean,
She's
It's
26.
you got to add the
man.
years of experience. I mean, she definitely looked 26, but I'm saying.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm 42 years old.
All
Okay,
right.
so you have some experience in this.
I do. Absolutely. I do.
Okay.
Yeah. You talking about 10 plus years? Okay.
Yeah.
You said that you teach people how to be honest and raw. Is that a good thing? All that honesty, doesn't that sometimes mess things up when couples try to be too honest with each other?
Yeah, honestly, it does sometimes. But if you really think about it, without the honesty, you won't really know each other.
And that's true. I
That's
agree
deep.
with that. Especially if, like, I guess if somebody and their partner comes seeking you, they're looking for something different. They identify there's a problem somewhere, just like a therapist, like you said, there's some sort of therapy. Identified there's a problem here. We got to find a way to fix it. And the only way to fix it is being honest with each other. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Transparency is very important. And when they do come to me, they come to realize that the main issue is that they're not being transparent.
I don't know, man.
And fluid.
I was honest with one of my exes. That shit fucked it up. She wanted to know if I cheated on her. So
And what you told her?
I fucking told her the truth. Like, and then I kind of ruined things. Like,
Oh,
I was
gosh.
wondering, I thought it was a really stupid question to ask. Like, a really insecure
It's not
question.
stupid. Who the fuck
I
does want
thought
to
it
know
was
if their
a-
partner cheated?
Well, that's
yeah.
a random ass question. Like, you maybe because you don't know the context. In context, just asking out of the blue, like, did you cheat on me? Like, that's kind of.
I'm sure it was a kind of like, I'm really hoping you didn't. And I'm asking in faith, hoping that you did not cheat.
I should have
on me.
just lied to her.
You could.
We still be together right now.
The reality of
maybe.
it is that you did her a favor by being honest with her, right? I think that that's admirable, and it shows that you truly cared about her. It showed that you were willing to show her that respect and be honest. But the truth of the matter is, women are delusional.
Yeah.
They say that they want the truth, but as soon as you give them the truth, they don't like it.
Yeah, then she got all
Are women
upset.
to do? Oh, that's a very bold statement.
Yeah.
Like,
At least I ain't say it this time, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
that's kind of a bold statement to make. What makes you think? Why are women delusional?
Okay, so let's take it back a bit. Okay. Let's take it back a bit. So women, sometimes they say, you know what, I want the truth. I want to know the truth. Tell me the truth. I can handle it. The fact of the matter is, sweetheart, can you really handle it? In order for you to be able to handle the truth, you have to have a conversation with yourself, right? You have to say, okay, the truth might be, no, he didn't cheat. The truth might be, yes, he cheated. How am I going to react to that news? Am I really ready to hear that this man shared himself with another woman behind my back?
And what's the significance of that?
But again, the significance is I'm really hoping you didn't. I'm asking in good faith, hoping that like you're gonna tell me that you didn't cheat, and I can say I know my man, I trust my man, I know you wouldn't try me like that.
Right.
Not that I'm like, you know what I mean, you're not asking knowing that I know you cheated. Let me see what you're gonna say.
Right. And there goes the delusion right there. It's like you're already making it up in your mind how it's going to go. The reality of it is you're not in his shoes. And I think it's very selfish as women to already have the answer in our heads. When we're trying to have an actual genuine conversation with you, then we need to leave that open platform and say, you know what, damn, I'm ready. If I tell a man, please tell me the truth, that means I'm ready for it from all angles. Now, if my man tells me, yeah, I cheated on you, my first question is why? Right? My second question is, okay, what led to that? Like, what did I do that was missing that you decided to step out?
In my situation, or go ahead, Mike.
So what I think is funny is that I think in some cases there is a reason. I think we've had this conversation. In some cases, there's a reason why an individual, a male, may cheat. And in some cases, it's just the opportunity. I know. What would be your take on that?
So I do agree. In some cases, it's opportunity. In some cases, a man's trying to see if he still got it like that. You know what I mean? But in reality, I really believe even if he's trying to see if he still got it like that, there's something missing at home. Because it's his woman's job to make him feel like he got it like that at the end of the day, no matter what.
So it's her fault.
It's your responsibility.
So to an extent, it's her fault.
It's not.
Nigga,
it's
I ain't trying
No.
to.
I won't say her fault,
right.
but it's something. It's something she's not doing at home.
Right, but it's also as a couple as well. It's the responsibility falls on both, right? The man decides I'm gonna cheat because I'm missing something at home, and it's the woman's responsibility to recognize, okay, wait a minute, hold on, why did this happen? And I think a lot of couples are so quick to say, all right, it's over, it's done, like you cheated on me, I'm out. But guess what? Like, why don't you have the conversation? Because even if you decide to walk away, your next relationship, you might repeat the same cycle and cause them to cheat as well.
So time out. Let me just chime in here. So first of all, it's not just men that cheat. We know that.
Yeah.
Women cheat also.
That's correct.
So it's like, I hear what you guys are saying, but it's like we got to look at both sides and we got to look at it realistically, right? Because we say, all right, if a man cheated, there's a reason why he cheated. Mike is trying to say it's the women's fault that the man cheated. That's what you said.
I'm not saying that, but I mean, just in conversation, the way it was phrased, it sounded like what she pretty much said was that sometimes the woman has to check, what made him cheat. You know what I'm saying? So not saying that it's her fault, but
realistically though, I don't give a fuck about that. Like let's take it away from like men and women, just people in general, right? So like if somebody cheats on somebody and the partner finds out that you cheated, my first thought is not fucking, what did I do to make this happen?
Yeah.
Bitch, you fucking cheated on me. You like betrayed me. What the fuck? Like, I don't have time.
Absolutely.
Realistically, I don't have time to say, damn, what did I do? Was I not like eating your pussy enough?
I think that's natural though. I think, especially for women, when they find out their husband or their boyfriend cheated on them, naturally look at like, was I not enough? What made him, was I not pretty enough? What made him? And then they see the woman, they were like, oh, this bitch ugly. Like, and then it's just about them being a freak.
But I'm also glad that you said that because it's not always about like niggas.
Looks.
Like niggas are animals, bro. Like
nigga will fuck anything moving just because it's there.
Just because it's there. Like sometimes there's opportunity. Sometimes it's like you just want to feel like you still got juice. Like that's everybody. Women still want to feel like they got juice. Women still want to go to the club, and we talked about this shit before. They want to go they want niggas to holler. Not that they're available. Not that they're trying to cheat. Just like
it does something to their ego.
Yeah, it just feeds to their ego.
Kind of like what happened with Steph Curry's wife. She wanted that attention from men outside of her husband.
I don't think she cheated though, right?
She didn't cheat, but she wanted that attention though.
It goes to the point. It's like
she wanted to know she still had it. Like she was still.
She wants attention like Steph, but she ain't Steph.
Not even. It's not nothing to do with that. It just had to do with the fact that she's a woman. She wanted to feel wanted. she wanted to feel lusted after her, is what I took from it. You know, every woman wants to feel like, I mean, maybe Steph says it all day long, but you want to know you still got it, you know, especially when you're going out there with Meg Thee Stallion's out there, Sierra's getting all this attention, and then, you know.
You're not Meg Thee Stallion,
you know,
you're not Sierra. You're
she's
Steph
pretty, she's
Curry's
attractive.
wife.
But she's attractive, though, but that's beside the point.
But
at the end of the day.
What's her first name?
I'm glad you said that. Aisha, bro.
All right,
Aisha
you know Aisha.
I didn't know her.
It's Steph Curry's wife.
That's not her name.
It's beside
bro.
the point. At the end of the day, she wanted to feel acknowledged. She wanted to
Feel desired.
feel desired.
wanted.
And that's
again,
okay.
And that's not limited to women. That's the point that I'm making.
Men
That
too.
Men and women both. They still want to feel like they have juice, and that's a part of it. That's why, like, there's plenty of reasons why people cheat. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of like wild stories like that. What I was gonna say was, Peter, you for instance, right? You said back to your story with the young lady. When you told her you cheated, how did you think that was gonna go?
Well, first I was thinking I shouldn't have told her because, like, I got some advice from different people, and people said if you do something like that, you shouldn't even tell your partner. If it doesn't really mean anything, you shouldn't tell them because it's just going to hurt them, especially if they don't know how to take it. Because some people can't take that type of information.
Do you believe if the shoe was on the other foot and she told you she had sucked another man's penis, would you have took that in stride and said, "All right, babe, we can work through it"?
I think that person back then, I don't know. I hope
Nigga,
I would have been able to. Yeah, I think I would have tried to figure out what was going on. And then knowing her, that's not really her. It would have been a surprise because that's not really her. So I would have been
Pretend,
surprised.
nigga.
Yeah, like in a sense.
She sucked another nigga's dick.
Shit, I'm pretending.
She
Nah,
sucked another nigga's dick. Are you okay with that?
Am I okay with it? Who would be okay with it?
I'm
Of course,
saying,
no one is okay with it.
Okay, so
It would have come as a shock, but I wouldn't have expected that from her.
Would you have been okay enough? I mean, would you have broken up with her?
No.
What the fuck?
You wouldn't. You think you would have stayed? That's
Yeah,
interesting. Okay.
I wouldn't have broken up with her.
You wouldn't have
Okay,
broken up.
good.
Cheating is not a deal breaker for you.
No, not with her. No.
Oh shit!
Okay, fair.
I like
Shit,
it.
you're a better man than me.
So
You say you like that? Why?
oh yeah, go
Because
ahead.
it's honest. It's honest. It's honest. It's ego free, pride free, and judgment free. So you have to absolutely admire that.
So is that like a common like what is your like go to like I the way you just said that just seems like you said it before. Okay, judgment free, ego free. What do you see yourself frequently saying in these relationship therapy sessions?
Just be transparent and honest.
That's the bottom line
That's
for you.
the bottom line. Be transparent and honest, but it starts with being transparent and honest with yourself, and then you can be transparent and honest with your partner.
When you say with yourself, you want, like, if someone isn't all that, they should be able to tell themselves they're not all that. Is that what you mean? Or
Yes, if you want to phrase it that way. Like, for example, I'm not perfect, okay? And I have to admit to myself, like, I have flaws. There are things that I need to work on as a woman and as a future partner. So right now I'm single. So, and right now I'm just preparing myself for my future partner. And I know there are things that I need to better myself on. So if I'm going to be delusional and pretend like, oh my God, I'm perfect, and it's him, it's me.
When did you get that approach where you knew that you need to be honest with yourself? Because I know when I used to watch the Kevin Samuels show, there's a lot of delusional women on that show who call in all the time and they say some crazy shit. When did you know that you need to be honest with yourself so you don't look like one of these crazy women who are just delusional?
So honestly, it happened about 4 years ago.
All right, so
4 years ago, yeah.
So, like, you could have been one of them ladies, because that would have been your late 30s. You could have been, like, your early 30s, you would have been one of them delusional women calling on the Kevin Samuels show.
Maybe not, because honestly, like, so my journey to getting to this point was not giving a fuck about what people think, because women, they look at you as weak if you speak the way that I speak, and it's kind of like, oh no, hell no, like, you're gonna get yourself played, like, you know what I mean? So I had to be comfortable within myself to be able to say, you know what, I don't care, I am who I am. So once I learned how to do that, it was just like, oh damn, I'm kind of dope. Okay, yeah, I'm a pain in the ass. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, that's me.
Yeah, there are a lot of pain in the ass.
Well, with that being said, so funny enough, a few weeks ago we posted a clip on our podcast, right?
Yeah.
And the clip was pretty much everyone on the podcast saying how we don't find women to be genuinely
Romantic.
or generally,
Yeah.
romantic.
Right.
And so pretty much he said no. I want to say
I think Bamia was there.
it
Junior,
was Kenneth was on the podcast as well. He said no. I said no.
and Junior.
And then other Mike, little Mike, or Junior, whatever. But we all pretty much said no. And so the feedback we got was so interesting because what we got from all the women in the comments was, "Oh, you dating the wrong type of women," and
so dismissive.
as opposed to just taking accountability.
Right.
So
What the fuck?
it is accountability.
If every single guy is saying
if
we
everybody
do not
on the
find
podcast
women
is saying,
to be
All right, one of
romantic.
you guys at a time.
So if everybody's saying at the same time, like there's 4 different dudes on the podcast,
Right.
everybody's saying we don't find women to be generally, not saying all women, but
Right.
generally romantic.
Right.
Like, how is your rebuttal? How is your question anything, or how is your statement anything but what do we need to do?
Yeah, a lot of
what do you
people.
consider romance?
Mhm.
Okay.
But I wanted to get your take on that.
Okay. I'm sorry. So, what is the actual question?
Do you?
What is your take on as far as women being romantic? Do you think women are romantic? Do you think women are taught to be romantic? Because I know for the most part, every guy on the podcast said no.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay. So, honestly speaking, no, I don't think women are romantic towards their partners. I think they require romance, towards them, but they don't know how to give it. They know how to direct it and they know how to demand it, but they don't know how to give it. I think, of course, there are a few, I'm sure, that know what to do and how to do it, but, there are a lot more that don't.
That doesn't surprise me.
Why doesn't it surprise you?
Like I'm telling you, just my experiences with various women, I haven't. Like the girl I'm with now is, but like a lot of women, I haven't found them to be romantic. They don't plan events.
Yeah.
They don't do shit.
They sit back and
Yeah,
expect
they
you
sit
to
back
do
and
everything.
accept,
They have
receive.
It's this ideology that women are the prize. And
They don't
so
do shit.
They go into it thinking that
They're
you got to
lazy.
court me, show me that you're worth my time. And I
Yes.
just think that's the wrong.
Yes.
That's the wrong approach. And I'm gonna tell you why I think it's the wrong
that's how women
approach.
are designed. They're taught to think that way. We grow
But it's
up
wrong,
thinking
though.
that.
But
So
it's
that
wrong.
means they're not
Brainwashed.
romantic. You're saying yes,
It's-
they're not romantic.
I feel like some women have been brainwashed, and this is where we go wrong. This is where we make it all about ourselves in a relationship. It's all about me. Like, I've got done wrong. You need to treat me. You need to buy me. You need to do this. Now, listen, there's a difference between being a masculine male, right, and who romances his woman, right, and then
Right.
there's a beta male who doesn't necessarily know how to romance his woman, but he bow down to her and he assumes that that's romance, right? Let's go back to the women now. That there's alpha females who are comfortable with playing that role and being able to be romantic, and then there's beta females, and then there's also different types, but the beta female who kind of just falls in between, where she's like, she does anything for her man, right? But the truth of it is, it's not really about that. It's about being submissive. And I feel like the women that understand how to be submissive are the ones that understand how to be romantic,
Okay.
because
so-
they're willing
I think
they're
that's a
willing
good.
to put their pride and
good
ego
statement.
aside. And I feel like because women are always like, I'm not gonna let that nigga play me, so I'm not gonna do that. I've heard that so many times, and it's like, sweetheart,
Exactly.
you signed up for a relationship. Please,
Yeah.
your man,
You
romance
can't come
your
in here with
man.
no preconceived notions about
Okay.
who I am.
So time. So let's go a little bit back. Let's backtrack because you said a lot there, and I wanted to get into some of it, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit. So when it comes down to, all right, let's go back to what we know about dating from beginning, from jump, right? We know that. What do we know? We know that women.
We're told to be the prize.
No.
Yeah, women what?
So women get men at a more. They might get four times the men come after women than men go after than women come after men, right? So in any woman's inbox, your inbox right now has 10 niggas right there begging you to take you out, right?
Right.
How many does yours have? Maybe one woman. How many does
Probably
yours
like-
have?
Probably like
none.
6.
That's funny.
Nigga,
That's not the
please.
point.
Nigga, that's exactly the
IW.
point. That's the point. Like women, their whole life they've been chased after. They're like, niggas love women. Nobody cares about dudes. Dudes are always just designed to like chase after women. So as a woman, if I have 10 dudes running after me, why would I have to do anything? That's how they're designed. You can't expect.
All right, so they're not romantic.
I agree.
You're agreeing. You're just saying it a different way.
I'm not saying a different way. I'm saying why. I'm saying
All right,
why.
you're explaining.
I'm explaining.
Why
That's why
they're
it
not
comes like that.
because they don't have to be.
They don't have to be because
Yeah.
like they've been chased at. Women are known that like, okay, boom. I've been taught ever since I've been growing up. The man's supposed to ask me out. You supposed to come ask me to prom. You supposed to ask me to marry. You're always supposed to do everything. You can't just expect that like. And yeah, over a while, over time, after you go through decades and decades of, relationships, and you learn to do shit. Okay, yeah, let me like put some in. And then, so we do have to be fair and say like there's a reason why it's like this.
Process.
It's not just fucking.
I got a whole different opinion on that. So I think that as times have changed, evolution, people have to change. Like it's just being real. So maybe back in the day it was okay. The ratio of women to men was different. Maybe it was one woman to one man. But now in the black community it's like 20-5 to fucking or 20-1. 20 women.
20?
It's a lot of women to one man, to one black man.
Where the fuck do you get that shit
That's
from?
statistics, bro. You just got to Google it. Ask people who live in Atlanta. Ask people who live in fucking Texas. There's a reason why there's a whole lot of black women who aren't getting married.
Oh, yeah, the statistics on marriage, yeah.
Again, I'm going based off of things that I know. So the number, there's a lot of disparity as far as women to men. Whether it be niggas is just getting locked up, going to jail, dying, whatever the case is, there's a lot more women, black women, than there are black men out here for dating. So with that being the case, I think that a lot of times society has told women they're the prize. Now, if the numbers were even, this is what I always say: if there was one black woman to every one black man, I think absolutely I would say women are the prize because they tend to be more loyal, more loving, affectionate, romantic. I mean, I don't say romantic, but they just tend to bring a lot more to the table, have their shit together more than men. But because of the numbers, because they're telling us in Atlanta, even in Miami, Texas, there's 20 women to every one black man out here. And that's not even being a good guy. That's just being a nigga, period. So with that being the case, I think you can't say women are the prize anymore. I think women have to be more assertive as far as dating. They have to make their presence known. It's not just sitting back. There's a reason why black women are the lowest race of all women being married.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I understand the point you're making. I do understand the point you're making. But what I do want to say is like you have to like think about it like this, right? If I'm a woman and I've been taught something and I know something for 20 something odd years, and year 28, I can't just turn it off and just say like, okay, now I know now I need to like do all this and this. I'm not used to that shit. I've never done that in my entire life.
So I understand what you're saying, and I respect where the thought is coming from, but let's go really far back for a second, right?
Listen.
So in the 30s, the 20s, the 30s, even if we go back in like the 1800s, right? What were women taught to do? Cater to their men.
Because anime couldn't work.
Men. Right. So back in the 50s and the 60s, women were taught to, you know what I'm saying, be at home, take care of the family while the husband comes in. Wear the high heels and the apron and the feather boa, and sex it up. Right. Women were actually taught to be submissive. They were actually taught to be romantic. And unfortunately, as the years went on, it's like, I'm woman, hear me roar, I'm independent. I'm all down for it. I'm an independent woman. But I think where it goes wrong is where women are like, I'm independent, I don't need a nigga.
Yeah, city girls, I blame them hoes.
All the romance falls out because it's like all of a sudden you don't need a nigga, so now you're taking the masculine role, so then you forget how to be a woman. A woman is supposed to be supple. You're supposed to be sexy. You're supposed to be sensual. You're supposed to be elegant, and you're supposed to be romantic.
And nurturing.
You're supposed to, you're supposed to show your man and cater to him and show him that he is the prize. So what I'm saying is,
so you think men are the prize?
I think men are the prize, absolutely, and I think women are the prize as well. Why can't we both be the prize? Damn it! Because it's selfishness when you say it's just women that are the prize, and that's the problem. That's why we're creating all these. How do I say this without
false narratives?
Yes.
How are you gonna? What do you mean by false narratives that you agreed with? You say we're creating false narratives.
So as far as the women that were, once we say women are the prize, we're welcoming them being victims. Women victimize themselves a lot, and this is why they say, you know what, I don't have to do anything. I just sit back and just let it happen.
Lazy.
Like, no, but the men don't have to sit back and just let it happen. He has to put in work. So, shorty, why don't you put in work?
And see, I always say this, like, that's part of the problem, I think, with, when we say black women are the lowest race of women to get married.
Right. Which is sad.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with, you hear women always saying, that men get money and go off and get the white girl.
Right.
I think a lot of it has to do with just the fact of what he's lacking in the home. Like I remember the first time I heard a conversation about submission, it was actually from Fantasia and her new husband. He said something really, really dope where he was like, she said, oh, my husband is the head of the household. And she makes millions. This guy was a felon. But she said, for the most part, that although I make what I make, I am the person that I am. That essentially, he's still the head of my household. He calls the shots. For the most part, and what I heard him say is what made me know that this relationship was going to work. People thought I think they met after like 2 weeks or something, or 2 months, and decided they wanted to get married. And I remember her saying, him saying that, pretty much, I'm the head of the household that she appointed me to be, but she's also the neck. So a head can't turn without a motherfucking neck. And I think that was the deepest thing and the realest thing I've ever heard. I think that once women learn to get to a place of being soft, nurturing,
submissive,
I think a lot of it should be easier.
A lot of women don't. This generation of women, it's like
This
the word. This generation of women. This generation of women, it seems like the word submissive with women is a bad thing. They call themselves bosses. I heard one woman. I went on a date with a chick. She said she's an alpha woman. I said, "What the fuck is an alpha woman?" I said, "Sweetheart, there ain't two alphas here. You're not alpha." Now, I don't know. You probably got a job or a career. You're not alpha. So, like, I don't know why women adopt this mentality
of being masculine.
I'm an alpha. I'm a masculine. If I was saying I'm a feminine, and if I kept saying I'm feminine traits, is that attractive to women?
They call you gay or
if the guy
weird.
is acting with feminine traits, why the fuck would women say, "Oh, I'm manly traits"? Bitch, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think society has kind of made women, especially, it goes back to Jim Crow, but society has always put it upon black women to feel like they don't need black men. I think
that's stupid.
That was from the slavery days when they was telling black women, you don't need the black man in the home. And it trickled down to now what I call city girls. They rap about all that shit. Real ass bitch give a fuck about a nigga, but at the end of the fucking day,
you single.
When somebody's knocking on your fucking door trying to break into the house, it's the nigga you got to call to, hey, can you get up and go check the door and make sure ain't nobody downstairs? Like,
and you cock it yourself. I'm just joking.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's funny.
That's just my thing.
So I kind of get that because I say something similar, but I say that I'm dominant to all and submissive to one.
All right.
Because I do have a dominant personality. And I know that I have this take charge personality, but I also know that I'm proud of being a submissive woman to my man.
Yeah, that's good because I can't go on dates. Like when I go on dates with chicks, if I see characteristics of her being pretending to be dominant or pretending to be in charge, this shit ain't gonna work.
Right.
This shit ain't gonna work. You can't
why won't it work though? Why don't you give
it
a chance?
No woman is in charge of me, dude. I don't give a fuck. Like I don't care if people don't like that. Like, no, there's no goddamn both, nigga. I'm in charge. Either I'm in charge or we're kind of equal with me in charge. There's no.
That's what I'm saying. It could be both.
Kind of equal with me in charge. There is no woman in charge of me. There is no both.
Peter's
there is
not
no
subservient
both.
is what he's trying to say.
There is no
Basically.
both.
So I like to think of it as my man leads, but I lead silently.
Yeah.
So it's like in the household, I know that I'm the leader per se because I have to make sure that the home is well taken care of, right? But I know that he's the head of the household. He's the king. He speaks. It goes, right? But he also knows that, you know what, my woman is submissive, but she's strong and she can also speak up.
Yeah.
She speaks.
There's nothing wrong with that.
She speaks in a way where it's quiet and it's not too.
A lot of women
I
don't
require
have
her opinion about every topic. You know, I don't know. He said it's crazy, but it's just real. I think that.
You think that's crazy?
What y'all niggas is talking about? Listen, in a successful relationship, you're submissive to your wife is submissive to you. That's how a successful relationship works. You can tell yourself whatever you want to tell yourself. A successful relationship only works with both parties being submissive to each other at different times.
I agree.
Sometimes it warrants for the woman to be submissive to you. A lot of times it warrants for the man to be submissive for his wife. You might not want to call it that. You might want to like say whatever, like
negotiating,
whatever title you want to put on it. But it's what it is.
All right. So would you say it's 60% you submissive to her or 60%?
He's saying
you're saying 50-50 submission.
It's just
whatever goes.
Like, I don't.
There's no number
I don't
on
constrict it. I see when you try to put labels on it, like no woman can ever in their life be the boss of me. You tell me do dishes,
yes.
I will never do dishes in my like nigga. No, bro.
We can have conversations, but she ain't no. There's this boss mentality, boss term.
So I think what
that word,
I
boss,
think you're using it wrong. I think boss term is just more or less about a woman who's making her own money, doing her own thing.
I hear what boss.
I think what your main concern is really, it's not what it said, it's how it's said. So, for example, if you and I are in a relationship together and I need you to do the dishes because I'm running late, I'm going to say, hey, baby, listen, I'm running really late. I was supposed to do the dishes, but can you look out? And
sure.
Thanks, baby. Yeah.
But she just got to get the gab. I figured that out a long time ago, man.
But it's about how you say it.
Absolutely.
And believe it or not, you just submitted to me. But guess what? You don't feel like less than a man.
You ain't even know you did.
Exactly. So you're absolutely right. It does take, that submission. But what
women
goes
take
wrong,
notes.
What goes wrong is that the women just don't know how to speak to their men.
Communication problems.
They just don't know.
And I think a lot of it has to do with women now being boss bitches. And a lot of women make more than men that they're dating for whatever reason. I don't know if it's travel nursing or whatever, but
he said travel nursing.
Yeah, no, they making a bag right now. But a lot of women just don't understand that even with you being the higher paid of the two parties, that doesn't make a man less than a man. I think that a lot of women feel like because I'm the breadwinner in the home, that this nigga still can't be the head of the household. And I think that's the crazy part about it.
That probably is true.
I honestly say those are bad women. Like no good woman. Like no woman that's like that has high character, high moral value that will see like she wouldn't want to even make you feel that you're less than a man. Like, they can make more money than you. They can and we both know I make more money, but I'm still gonna be like, oh baby, you want me to get it? It's still going to be delivered in a way to not make you feel like shit. Because your woman wants you to feel good just like you want your woman to feel good. Just like, and that's why I said, like, even me, like, I'll submit to my girl. Like, I'll tell her, like, oh, hey, you want me to do this? Tonight is, or this week is the week. You know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to clean the whole house. I'm going to clean the thing. You just take the day off. That's me submitting to her. Just like, not that, like, that don't make me like a beta male. What do you guys say? Beta male?
Yeah.
Beta male.
But it's like, that's just me wanting to make my partner happy. I think once you're trying to put title on it, you trying to be the macho man, you trying to be the big guy on campus, like, all right, nigga, then.
Yeah, you're going to always lose.
I think also there's a misconception about being an alpha male. Now, a true alpha male understands his masculinity and also understands his softer side, right? So
the femininity.
I won't use that word.
That's funny.
But I'll definitely say that he understands both angles, right? So he's able to maneuver around that within his relationship. He understands like, at the end of the day, whatever I say goes. But I'm gonna say it to her in a way where it doesn't come off too harsh. But if she does start to feel a certain way, I'm like, hey, baby, that's not how I meant it. I just need you to get this done. All right, cool. All right, good girl.
That's funny.
So, so yeah, like it goes back to it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Say your point now.
Yeah, like I say, the communication is important. Me and the girl I'm with now, like things are really good. I mean, I do shit for her. She does shit for me. So I guess that's what you're saying. How you saying submissiveness
you
goes both ways. You just don't like
the word, and I get that.
Nah, I'm still in charge.
So you trying to prove something to us?
What you talking proving? I ain't proving shit, nigga.
That's my cheese
about? Fuck you talking about?
cheese mode.
I'm telling you about me. I ain't proving shit. I'm being me.
You still in charge.
I'm being me. I don't give a fuck how you call it.
What you gonna
you can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whatever makes you feel good.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm being me. So, I mean, I do shit for her. She does shit for me. Call her whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm just saying it works.
She's making a relationship work.
It's a working relationship. I've seen some chicks with different attitudes, and it's like, bitch, you're gonna be single for a while. But you know, you leave those alone and you just keep it moving.
So let me ask you. So when you guys go on a date and you pay for some dates, does she also take you out on some dates? Like just like, all right, Pete, this is your night. I'm gonna like show you the world.
Yeah, like I just like if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't even go out as much. I'd just be focusing on doing work because you know I got a little side hustle. So I just be focusing on my business. If she doesn't invite me to go, let's go to the museum, let's go here, I would just.
So you don't believe that's you submitting? Like this is not my.
You say submission when she says, "Hey, let's go to the museum."
That is a form of submission.
Like,
duh.
Why do you have to? Why?
Because you're stepping out of your element to please her.
Maybe it's not submitting. You're not necessarily submitting,
I'm
but
just hanging
you're
out with my
doing
girl.
things. Okay, all right, fair. All right. Dang, how can I put this?
You're doing something that you wouldn't normally do in order to keep her happy. That's submission.
Only for this reason, because if it was Peter's world, you'd be like, no, I'm not doing that shit because that's not what I do. You're gonna sit here and do this work with me. You better bag this, whatever the fuck.
But
I don't fucking say you better bag this. I don't say stuff like that.
I think that your personality is not more or less submitting, but it's more or less, I agree. Since you're asking me for my opinion and you're asking me if, you know, and you're giving me a choice, then I'm willing to do that. I feel like if the woman doesn't give you a choice, I think that's when it becomes like, yo, what are you doing?
She's not the boss of you.
Exactly. So his relationship works because they balance each other out, and his shorty understands like I can't just tell my man what to do. I have to ask. So, which is good.
Yeah, I think maybe like some people gotta get better at asking questions instead of saying directives.
Right.
Maybe that's what rubs some people the wrong way. Just phrase it as a question. Right. Phrase it the same.
Do you mind is always the best way.
Phrase it as a question.
So I want to switch gears here for a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So Sophie. So here's a question I have for you, because I'm sure you've gotten this before. Have you ever heard of the term "pick me"?
No, actually, I have not.
Okay, so a pick me is what women label other women as. Like, so if women say that, like, women aren't doing this right, they don't know how to cater to a man, women aren't romantic, X, Y, and Z, they will say, wow, this woman is a fucking pick me. You want niggas to like you. You want, you know, so so you've never heard that term? Nope,
never heard that.
So I've heard it before, and I've heard, so what would you say if a woman were to classify you as a pick me? What would you say to that?
What would I say to a comment like that? So since I've actually just heard of that, and I would honestly ask her why she feels that way. And if she tells me it's because my opinion seems to steer towards more of the masculine nature, then I would tell her, then of course she's more entitled. She's entitled to her opinion and feeling that way. But the reality of it is I'm just being me and speaking my truth and going off of what I've learned. Not every guy likes me. Not every guy likes the opinion that I have. It kind of stands off like, yo, that's kind of crazy. Like, I'm not used to this shit. Believe it or not, like, I've learned that there are men that actually like toxic chicks.
Of course.
They actually like chicks who are
no surprise there.
Who are beyond freaking crazy. And when they meet somebody like me,
That's
it's
weird.
like, nah, bitch, like, you'll kill me in my sleep.
I think
they think the crazy one is fine, but you would kill them.
Right,
That's
exactly.
Weird.
Exactly. Because it's like, nah, like, you know exactly what to say.
That's
like,
funny.
nah.
I think low-key most of
yo,
this should sound like you.
Or like, shorty, you got a dick in your pants type of thing, because I know that.
People said that to you?
Yes, because like my girlfriends, I say, yo, you think like a man. Like, how do you do that? And it's not, I don't really see as me thinking like a man, but I take it as a compliment as well, because I'm able to balance it out. I'm all woman. I'm very feminine, but I'm logical. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's
a
what I
logical thinker.
You're logical.
That's why I
I'm a
thought,
logical
like,
thinker.
that is beautiful.
So that's what I would say to her. I would
That's
say,
what I've always
I'm a
noticed.
logical thinker. I can't help it. Like, I have emotion as well, but don't get me wrong. But I also have conversations with myself. Let me give you a prime example. I went to a party with a guy friend of mine, and during that party he said something that I didn't like, right? And I kind of got in this attitude, in this mood, and I looked at him, and he got into he was chilling, you know, just being his masculine self, just chilling. And it was irritating me that he was so calm and cool, but I was so, you know what I'm saying, like, heated up. So I said to myself, all right, go to the loo. So I went to the loo and I looked in the mirror. I said, Sophie, what are you doing? Like, why are you being emotional right now? He didn't disrespect you. He didn't talk down to you. He didn't make a scene. All he simply said was, I didn't like what you did. So take a step back and really try to figure out what he meant by that. So that's what I did. I went back out to the party and I said to him, I was like, hey, listen, we don't have to talk about this right now, but We can talk about it later. And he was like, yeah, I'm cool. You cool? I'm cool too. By the end of the night, we were good. If I would have behaved the way that I, like in that moment, I would have turned the whole party out.
But that's
I would
just
have ruined the whole night.
But that's just you having
emotion.
That's
Yeah,
emotion.
that
you
is.
having it
As
under
opposed to
control. A
being
lot of
logical.
people don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people lose their temper all the time, and it also comes from growth. Like you said, you've had a lot of experience getting to this point, and then a lot of people aren't there. Like, truth be told, women that are 25, 26, 27, 28, you know what I mean? Or men even, like me at 25, 28, like, I lose my temper quick. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like getting a hold of my emotions, just trying to like, all right, let me just take it easy, you know what I mean? But
but by 30, like women, men, you got to be better than that by 30. Like you can't be
easier and said.
You can't.
Speaking, go ahead.
Yeah, it shouldn't take people so long to learn these lessons. I understand people learn, people change, you know, but at some point, like, how long do you need?
Which goes to another conversation because again, we've had this conversation before, you and I. Even about just, you know, expectations as far as dating.
Right.
You know, I've come to find that a lot of times women tend to think they can do what guys can do. Like they're on the same playing field. And I think that's absolutely incorrect.
The same
When you say they can do what guys can do,
okay,
what are you
so
talking
let me
about?
give you an example. So we know that, for instance, men typically, the number one thing we look for in a woman is what?
Physical attractiveness.
Beauty. Absolutely. Right? So as a woman tends to get older, with the exception of some women, but for the most part, most women or any human beings tend to lose their beauty as they get older. Correct? We can all agree. So as a woman gets older, there's a number that we've heard several times, like 30. We said on the podcast before, we've heard Kevin Samuel say, when a woman turns 30, she starts to lose her desirability, you know, from a man's perspective, right? And so where it's different for men is that women look for financial stability in a man, right? So as we get older, we acquire more, you know, whether it's assets, you know, we just gain more financial, you know, wealth and income or whatever the case is. So we become more desirable as women become less desirable as they get older. Also, with that taken into consideration that, you know, especially in the black community, women have a very high infertility rate. You get what I'm saying? So with that being the case, I've heard a lot of women, I see a lot of women think they can kind of run the streets like how men do. Like play the type of games men play where, you know, guys can kind of run the streets until they're 40 years old and decide they want to settle down then. And then a lot of times we have women who feel like they can do the same thing, who play with their 20s.
I don't know who's going to want them. Like, I don't know who's
want them.
I don't think people are going to want them.
There
You
is
can
a
say that if
market
you
for
want.
everybody,
there's
bro.
a market. All this fucking fairy tale shit, this unicorn shit.
So that's what I think is funny. I think that dating and marriage is two different things. So let's just pretend that marriage is the goal for most people.
Yeah, marriage.
Marriage is the goal for most people. I think that someone 27, 28, 29 has a better chance of getting married than someone in their later 30s, you know, especially for a man who's looking for a legacy. You know?
I agree. Especially you're talking about a woman. I say a woman has a better chance at marriage when she's younger.
In her 20s, yeah. Because, I mean, I want to reproduce. I want to have kids.
Okay. So time, because we're going through a lot here, but I do want to like let's stay on one thing, right? So we're saying bottom line that women are less desirable when they're getting older, and men are more desirable when they're getting older.
Yes.
But I would rebuttal that with like, yes, you are correct. Yes, more women get married younger, or they're more desirable to get married younger. That only makes sense. But I also would say that, like, yes, there is a market for older women. Niggas don't give a fuck.
But marriage, though,
they can get fucked.
See, that's the thing.
Wifed.
I think wife and marriage is two different things.
Marriage is not even like everyone's goal. Like,
but I'm saying, but that's what I said in the beginning. The disclaimer was it's marriage. You know,
no, don't do those disclaimers.
That's the disclaimer. It's marriage
because it's like an asterisk. Like you're
But
trying to make
about.
it so that it's like, let's say that they're less desirable as they're getting older, so they can like worship. No, just say it like how people are. Like, let's be realistic. Don't put no asterisks on it. Don't say. Let's say the people that want to get. People don't want to get. All people don't want to get married. Some people
think
have
most
kids.
people do.
Most people, sure. Most people,
That's why I'm speaking for the general population. Most. There's always exceptions to the rule. There are people who don't mind that.
So even if you take marriage off the table, right?
Yes,
guys will still go out with older women. They're just gonna smash and pass. That's it. Like if people just want to hook up, you want to keep hooking up as you get older. You can be 50 hooking up, but you're not gonna get that serious commitment.
I don't believe that's true.
Or it's for financial gain. A lot of times
I'm talking in
women who are older and they're dating a younger guy. She's already been established. She has a certain level of status. Otherwise, what is he really looking for in a woman?
You're not.
It's not being realistic.
I don't think you guys are being realistic, and I don't think you guys are like really like.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be real. There's somebody who will date every woman walking on earth. Has at least 10 niggas that's ready to line up and date.
Not every woman.
Any day of the week.
No. I'm saying I think
really
any woman, even if you think she's unattractive, fat, ugly,
any
10
day
kids.
Of the week.
There's somebody who will date and fuck her.
He would fuck her. That's all he would do.
Okay, but that's the whole point. But some guys will date in order to fuck. The point I'm trying to make is that every woman can be entertained. That's beside the point. But as far as longevity, as far as something to say that I want a commitment, and this is going to be, it's not happening. Mm-hmm. It's just not real.
It's not happening.
Says statistics. If that's the case, I mean, we go back to statistics. We go back to.
This is the problem. This is exactly the problem. You guys are talking as if you guys know for like a fact.
This is a fact. Black women are the least married women of all races. Why do you think that's about? What do you think that's about?
Right, black women, but not necessarily older black women.
I mean, they fall in the demographic as well.
Right, that's
the women who aren't getting married at 25 are still single at 75. Mm-hmm. It's not changing. You don't get. It's the same.
Listen, I want you guys to know that both of you guys right
now. You're a feminist. We understand.
You're in a relationship right now. You're in a relationship right now. You're not in a relationship right now, but you're hanging out. There are women counterparts that are going through the exact same things as y'all are going through, and it's like y'all just completely ignore that and just say that like. No women is going my age is going through what I'm going through right now. They're just out here just waiting, hoping, praying for a man marries them.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. And don't think that I'm just casually dating. I'm dating intentionally. But I think a lot of times women tend to not do the same. They tend to think that they have forever, where they're on a clock, and I don't think men are really on a clock like that. We gain as we get older, we gain more. What makes us most desirable to women is our finances, and we gain that as we get older. What makes a woman most desirable to a man is her looks and her virtue, her ability to have kids. And as you get older, you lose that. So it's not even about opinion or emotions. This is a fact.
It's not a fact, bro.
It is a fact.
It's not a fact.
It's not a fact. It's been polled.
It's not a fact. I disagree with this shit.
It's been polled.
What part of what Mike just said is not true? What part?
The shit about women are being less desirable. No,
as they
can
older?
Still get married as they get older. Just the same way men are stacking up their thing. Women are stacking up degrees. They're making more money.
But that's not about money. That's what you see. The problem is that
the first thing,
no man cares. No real man cares about a woman's money.
Cares?
No one cares about that.
The first thing that a man sees in a woman is her beauty. That is not the only thing. If a woman has her own money, it's the first thing. That's the first thing that gets them to start dating. But once I start dating you and I find out, wow, you have this, and this, wow, you're established like this, wow, you're still family oriented, even though you're in your older age, there are other options. It's not just oh you're over 30 now you can't have kids no more. Damn, that makes you.
I'm not speaking for everybody. That's true. I'm not speaking for everybody. There are exceptions to the rule. I always say this. I dated someone who was 38 when I first met her, and not too long ago on the podcast, I said right before that she had 3 kids. I probably couldn't date anybody who had more kids than me. I reneged on my words, and she made me eat my shit because a month or 2 later, I think I was in Mexico and I found somebody who I fell in love with. It didn't work out, that's fine. But at the end of the day, she wasn't what I thought I would go after. But that's me as a hopeless romantic nigga who was looking past a lot of shit. That's not a lot of dudes doing that.
Yeah, my
point is this, and this is my point. And really, this is what I want people in general not to do. It's like, all right, you've been dating this type of woman, this same type of woman, and it hasn't been working out. So maybe try to think outside the box, like, all right, let me try something different. Right. Maybe she's a little bit older. Maybe she's not, you know what I mean? Like you said, all the things you just named, she's getting, you just have to try. Like, you don't know these people until you try them. Like, all right, she
Very
looks good.
true.
Beauty is the first thing. Once I learn more about her, it might be a nigga. You never know. Like, you can't just automatically, oh shit, you don't check this box. Nah, fuck that. Because that's what women do when they're younger.
That's essentially what women do for men.
That's what women do, but that's what they do when they're younger. When they get older, they tend to stop doing that. Those women that are in their 30s, as you're talking about, that are quote unquote undesirable or getting more undesirable, they're starting to like learn. Like you said, you get older, you learn more, you become transparent. You can like understand that, like, okay, boom. The women that are not romantic, the fucking 25-year-old that fucking has 100 niggas like in her DMs.
But you'll be surprised, even in the late 30s, doing the same thing. Even to get back to that conversation, the romantic part, right? I think where a lot of women go wrong is they don't understand love languages and they don't care to ask the right questions. So what may be your love language, and I find that's when a lot of women, I always ask them to take the quiz. With most women, you ask them their love language, they got everything on the top and physical touch at the bottom, right? And most men have physical touch at the top of their list. Based on what I've asked women, most women tell you that most guys have physical touch number one and number two. So, and what I find with that is that a lot of times they don't understand what they consider to be their love language is what they try to force upon the men. You may think that, okay, well, shit, I might buy him, I don't know, a meal or do some acts of service is something romantic to him. His love language may be strictly, they all apply, but it may be fucking physical touch. You get what I'm saying? So
Sophie,
you got to learn to love a person based on their love language.
What have you noticed with the couples you've counseled? Like, has there been a lot of problem when people get the mismatches with love language and trying to use my love language please you instead of your love language?
Yeah, there has been a lot of issues as far as that. I don't think people truly understand what it means, to love somebody based on their love language. I think that we have a tendency of loving someone based on our own love languages because it's what we know, it's what we recognize. But it also tells you that you're not really getting to know your partner and you're not really taking time to understand what they like and what they don't like. And I think what the whole point of love languages is to force everybody to be transparent and fluid and honest with each other. So it's like saying, hey, you know what? I like it when you touch me. That makes me feel loved. Hey, I like it when you buy me a little small gift. That makes me feel loved. Hey, me personally, I loved acts of service. It turns me on. It just lights me up when I see someone do an act of service, and it's like, wow, you really have a big heart. For me, character is everything. Personality, you can change. Character is who you are. And I think what love language is based on your character. And that's what I think that's what people are missing. This is why when you ask women about their love languages, they say, oh, I like to spend time. My love language is spending time. My love language is eating pizza. It's like, all right, shorty, really? Like, that's funny. You really don't understand.
I send them the fucking quiz. Like, bitch, answer these questions.
Do you think relationships can work long term when people are mismatching love language and doing the wrong thing for people?
Actually, so yes, it can. Right. It's all about really having that open communication, right? So like, say we're dating and you tell me that your love language is touch, but it's not my love language.
And you don't like to touch.
Right, but I don't really like to touch. But now I have to understand, am I going to stay with you and compromise the touch? So now I'm gonna have to try to teach myself how to touch, how to feel comfortable with that touch. If I don't, then I have to respect that this relationship is not gonna work out. Yeah, because once again, it goes back to transparency and honesty.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And shout out to Tony. Tony gave me this idea a couple years ago. Maybe like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, and he remembered. He told me, he said, "Yo, listen, this is what I do every so often when we do our when we have our anniversary. Him and his wife, he has an anniversary. He says that every time we have an anniversary, we have a check-in with each other. Like, okay, how was this year for you? How can this next year be better?"
That's a good idea. That's
transparent and honest, and it's just so funny because just when you said that yours is active service, it just reminded me because I did the same thing with my lady, and she was telling me like, hey, like sometimes I know you don't like doing dishes, but it'd be cool to just show up and it's already done, and I know acts of service is hers. So just back to that transparent honesty thing that you said, like it makes sense, like just to talk to them and be realistic, like You start dating, they gonna tell you all the good shit. They gonna say, oh yeah, I suck dick good, like I like to fuck, I like to like hang out, have fun.
Right.
But when you deep in it, deep in it, you know what I mean? Like you have to really discuss, what do you really like? What are you really like? You don't like just sitting and watching TV with me, dog, because that doesn't do nothing for you at year 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So transparent honesty, hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then let's go back to the whole women are not desirable at a certain age thing. I understand where you're coming from, because that is the reality, but that's the reality based on the women who have let themselves go. Right? I'm 42 years old. I don't look like I'm 42, right? So
it's true.
I thought you were 26.
Thank you.
I'll tell you.
So I'm still considered desirable. I have 3 kids and a grandson. I'm a grandmother.
Shit.
So
Hey, Granny.
Nice.
So, I'm still considered desirable. I am single by choice, simply because, and I'm not saying that's a bullshit, because that's what we often hear.
That's what a lot
I'm
of women
single because I still have unresolved feelings for my ex.
think.
And I feel like it's completely selfish to allow somebody to come into my life when I can't give them all of me. So until I'm ready to give them all of me, then I need to kind of just chill out and understand. So this is why I'm very transparent and honest with men. And I say, listen, we can get to know each other and build a friendship, because that's where a real, genuine relationship and partnership come from, right? So, but you have to understand that I'm still healing, and I'm still trying to mend these feelings and these emotions. And if you respect that, then we can be in each other's lives, but nothing more, nothing less. And I feel like even if I'm transparent with that, a lot of guys take offense to that. It's like, yo, but why are you single? Or they say, like, that nigga crazy. Like, you sure? Like, how do you know I'm not the problem?
That's funny.
Right?
I find that most women know the problem, boy.
How do you know? But I never get that. Nobody ever thinks that I'm the problem. I think it's based on the fact that I have a pretty face. But fuck all that. Like, I could be a pain in the ass.
But not even just talking.
Totally.
I think the growth in you, because I think, in hearing you speak, it's like, nigga, how do you not want to marry this chick? Like, she just sound like the peacemaker in the home. Like, she just sound like she's non-combative. Like, just a woman who makes your life a whole lot easier.
Mike, what you saying is, it sounds good, and no disrespect to you, Sophie, but this is good. I just met you, so everything you're gonna say to me is gonna sound very good. It's gonna sound very lovely. But like I said, at year 5, she
true.
said, like, how do you know she's not the problem? How do I know the way you chew your apples is not gonna fucking drive me fucking mad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you just get to know people, and then you just build from there. But I do think it's super fire, and I will say that, like, for you to be that honest to say, like, this is where I'm at with it. I'm not there yet and ready to date, because, like, let's be frank, like, you break up with an ex, or you not with whoever right now, like, you just want to fuck, probably. Like, you just want to, like, get your shit off. Like, you still want to hang out. You still don't want to feel like, damn, I lost the, like, breakup battle. Like, I got to make sure I'm up. You know what I mean? But to be, like, real with you, that's growth.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
real.
years of, like, shit. I don't even know if I could do that if my woman leave me. Like, hey, I'm in these streets, baby. But, so.
Yeah.
That's
So I
pretty cool.
actually had a question for you as far as you being a relationship coach, right?
Right.
I know typically, again, we had a conversation before, and you mentioned that a lot of times women say some of the things that men, how men stop doing certain things. Like, oh, I was with my husband or my boyfriend. He used to buy me flowers. He used to do something.
And he stopped.
He stopped. And you had a very interesting take on that. So and it actually was like, nigga, I gotta get her on the podcast after hearing this shit. What was your point that you had to say to that as far as
So it was basically that women victimize themselves, right? They talk about how, like, yeah, the man has stopped doing this. He stopped buying me flowers. He stopped telling me good morning. He stopped, taking me out on dates. He stopped. But then when I asked them, okay, so what did you stop? It's like,
now she got a frozen face.
That's funny.
What? I didn't stop. What do you mean? I'm still me. No, really. What did you stop? So when I dig deeper and I say, okay, so you guys live together, right? Yes. All right. Do you still clean the house? Damn, like, but yes, I'm kind of tired. Okay,
That's
cool.
funny.
Do you still cook? I cook on, like, certain days. All right, cool. You still suck his dick? Damn, when's the last time I did that? Like, all right, you still having sex? Damn, sex? Oh, shit.
Once every 2 weeks.
That's funny.
Right? So it's like, so what haven't you stopped? And it's like, damn, I did really stop. I legit stopped doing these things. And this is why I do what I do. it's not to bash women. It's to remind you like how amazing you are and how you're supposed to be. And it's okay to be submissive. It's okay to cater to your man. It's okay to romance your man. It's okay to say, you know
Absolutely.
what? I'm not all that. I'm not perfect. This man has chosen me to be a part of his life, whether I'm his wife or I'm his girlfriend. He has chosen me. So why don't I make him proud, right? The way that I expect him to make me proud, you know?
I think a lot of times society has just always made women feel like they have to be catered to, but they forget that men still have emotions and feelings. Like,
right.
A part of us needs our ego, stroked as well. We need to know that, okay, well, shit, my woman has my back. She believes in me. She wants to see me be great and shit like that. I think a lot of times women just don't understand that men are fucking human beings.
Right, right.
But and I agree. I do agree, but and like I said before, I do believe it's both ways. Like, she doesn't suck your dick because you didn't fucking rub her feet. You didn't it goes both ways. Like, it's a relationship. You take care of it like it's a baby. You know what I mean? It's it goes both ways. You gotta do both. You gotta do for her as she does for you, and that's what make that shit work.
Right, I agree, but two wrongs don't make a right. So the thing is, when our partner stops doing something and we stop doing something, how do we expect the relationship continue to go well? If my man stops doing something, I'm going to say, baby, it's been a while since what's going on? And I'm sure in his mind, he'll be like, damn, babe, for real? I didn't even realize that. Instead of me being like, well, you stop doing this, I'm going to stop doing that too. Where are we going to go? We're not going to end up anywhere. Eventually, we're going to stop touching. All of my clients, I ask them, what is the first thing to go in every relationship, right? This is where the sex aspect comes in. Actually, no, it's sex.
Oh, really?
Sex is the first thing to always stop.
Absolutely.
When you converse with them and you say to them, hey, okay, so when's the last time you had sex? Like, they talk about all their problems and like, when's the last time you had sex? Oh, damn, it's been a while. Like, okay, why have you stopped having sex? Well, I'm mad at him. Why is he not getting it just because you're mad at him? The key thing is like, so if he's mad at you, is he still going to hit it? Yeah, he
Absolutely.
is. He's still going to put it down. He's still going to please you.
And that
so
will
why
take away some of her stress also.
And attention.
Sex is amazing. Sex is so good for our health. We just don't recognize it. It's just, it's kind of like in the movies when you hear the guy say, yeah, my wife's not having sex with me because she has a headache. In my head, I'm like, yo, it actually helps a headache.
Yeah, it will help her feel better.
Absolutely. So we have to learn to take care of each other.
I
and
agree.
if we don't take care of each other as a couple, and we continue to just hit it like, okay, you know what? Okay, you're fucking up, so I'm gonna start fucking up too.
Yeah, like
then
it's
our
a
relationship is
competition.
gonna go nowhere. But if one of us decides, yo, you know what? Let's talk about this. Why hasn't stopped? Like, how come we don't hold hands anymore? What's going on? You'll be surprised at what you hear. Well, babe, you weren't holding my hands. I didn't think you wanted to touch me. What? No, are you kidding me? I love touching you. And then it goes back to being healthy. Transparency, honesty. And that's the only thing that keeps a relationship going. Everybody's so afraid of the truth or so afraid of the transparency. They don't realize that they self-sabotage their relationship and everything goes down the drain.
Super fire. So we got a shameless response here before we get up out of here. So I got a question here that said, all right, so somebody said, okay, random. Do you believe what once was will always be? For example, do you believe in change? Do you think people can change, or just whatever they are is what they are? Whatever they be is what they'll be.
I think for the most part, a person is who they are. I don't think they're going to change. I think for someone to change after a certain period of time, let's say 30, right? So at that point, they are who they are. For them to change, in my opinion, it's going to take something drastic like a near-death experience, a really sharp, poignant moment in their life. Otherwise, they have to consciously try to change, and even then, the change is going to be slow. It's not going to be immediate.
I agree.
So that's just what I think on it.
All right. So
that's my turn. Okay. So I believe that people don't change; they conform.
okay.
Right. And I believe you are who you are. Like, I'm always gonna be that Miami girl. Like, yo, let's get it. Right. but I'm going to make different choices because I know I don't want to end up in prison because I'm too cute for prison.
Funny.
Right, and I really don't want to eat vagina. But
Lovely.
so I'm gonna make different choices. So, but I'm always gonna be that little girl who became that woman. But I'm just gonna make different choices. So as far as change, like I said, I think people conform and they rebuild. Like for example, if you're dating somebody and they seem to change their ways, and 6 months later they're back to who they were.
Yeah.
So I believe personality changes because we can rebuild ourselves, right? Recreate, but character is who we are. So it's a little difficult.
All right. I personally do believe people can change, but I say that you can only change if you want to change. For whatever reason, like you said, something drastic happened to you, or you just like had a fucking, what they call that shit, a fucking
near-death experience.
Not even near-death experience. Like you just had a vision or something. It just came to you, and I have to stop doing this for whatever reason. You just fucking. Yes, I just can't think of the word. Epiphany. There we go. That's the fucking word. Epiphany. You have an ephany. You just say, I want to change. You have to do it because, not for anybody else, not for any other reason. It just has to be because you want to, and it'll happen.
For me, I think that for the most part, who you are, like she said, character is who you are. Personality can be changed. So I would say, it depends on what it is and what you have to lose. You know, I got homeboys that are married and be in the streets sliding and cheating, and they almost lost their wives, and after that, you know, the experience, they got right back to what the fuck they were doing, you know, cheating. And I don't think that, I think you gotta want to change, and it's not for anybody else but yourself. But I also think that for the most part, it's likely to not happen.
It's what?
Likely to not happen. Change is likely to not happen.
Oh, I see.
All right, so Sophie, where you want the people to find you at?
My Instagram is
That was weird.
ms.Sophie Nau, SOPHIENAU. It's my Instagram name. I have other social media things, but I can't remember it right now. It's old age. Forgive me.
All right, all good. We good. It's a Shameless Ghost, baby.